Hey, Canucks fans, tonight is the first of 2 games against the Leafs. Do our boys even stand a chance? I'm Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. It's my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Thursday, March the 4th. This is where you get Canucks insight that's positive and timely. Shout out to my Hall of Fame members, Jens95, simalexander, Just Incredible, nucksfan number 29, and Lucas Gates. Thank you for your support and your membership. And I've reached out to all of you, sent you messages about setting up our one-on-one time this weekend. I'm excited for that. And thanks to members of all levels. You are all listed in my video description. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath any of my videos or click on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Feeling good, looking good, wearing blue and green today. Not for the Canucks, but actually my department's putting on an early St. Patrick's Day virtual lunch. That's a bit of a mouthful, but in essence, we were supposed to wear green, and this is really the only thing I had. But I think it works, at least the green stripes. And yeah, it's appropriate that I'm wearing it on a Canucks game day. Yes, we are facing the North's best team by far, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's talk about Toronto, and then we'll talk about the Canucks. In Toronto, they are truly a juggernaut. They are smoking everyone. They just beat, you could argue, the second best team in the North. They swept them. 3 games in Edmonton. Combined score of 13-1. McDavid, nothing. Draisaitl, nothing. Well, I think Draisaitl had 1 point maybe. But 13-1. Ridiculous in 3 games. And 2 of those were without Austin Matthews. That's how good this Leafs team is. And you guys know me. I'm not a Toronto hater. I'm not a Toronto Maple Leafs hater. I have some really good friends in Toronto. A lot of good content coming out of Toronto. And even the team itself, it's not like I hate Toronto. I don't have any of that Toronto bias. I don't get upset that Vancouver gets snubbed by Eastern reporters or whatever. You got to give credit where it's due, and this Toronto team is stacked. Obviously, they have their big 4 up front in Matthews, in Marner, in Tavares, in Nylander, and we know that those guys are making a lot of money. But these depth guys that are scoring, like I remember Spezza smoked us last time, but Hyman, Spezza, Vesey, Boyd, there's so many good players in their bottom 6. And then Joe Thornton's there. That's without Wayne Simmons. They are really, really deep up front, and they are talented. And obviously their top end guys are really talented. You think of Matthews and Marner. How would you compare them to, say, PD and Besser? Like that's a tricky comparison, right? They're both good pairings, obviously. And then on D, led by Morgan Riley and TJ Brody, those are some good players on their blue line. You could argue better than collectively than our team, of course. And then in goal, Frederik Andersen, he made some real good strides near the end of last year, especially in the bubble, and he's been playing well this year. But they're also doing it with backup goalies like Jack Campbell and Michael Hutchison. So they are a very, very strong team. They did not have much problem with the Canucks when we played them in Toronto. That was it was a 3-game set, because I remember I had to make 3 consecutive haiku for Arcade Regiment on Twitter. And I think one of those 3 Canucks games, the Canucks played well. I think they didn't play well in the first 2. Then they had, I think that was the much ballyhooed good practice, where then they came out, they lost the 3rd game, but at least they were a little better. And then that took them through at least taking a split from the Calgary Flames in the next series. So that's kind of what happened about 3 weeks ago when the Canucks a month ago when the Canucks last played the Leafs. So I hope that they win, just so I hear someone else making a haiku for us, for Canucks fans, instead of me having to write one for Phil and the crew out in Toronto. Okay, so we know that Toronto's really good. We know that they're the cream of the crop in the North Division, and we know that they've separated themselves well. Vancouver, I think we're trying to separate ourselves from Ottawa, and then trying to catch up to the flailing Calgary Flames and the up and down Montreal Canadiens. But as I've talked about repeatedly over the past couple of days, it's frustrating. It's 1 step forward, 2 steps back, or 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Whatever analogy you want to use, just there's more steps backward than forward. And obviously, given my vlog yesterday and the amount of attention paid to it, thank you for that. It will be Thatcher Demko in net. I'm almost certain for both games, which still, I wish he played the 2nd game against Winnipeg, but, we're past that now. And then Other lineup changes, I don't know, because I'm recording this before around 9:30 in the morning, and then the team isn't skating until around 11 or so. So I won't, because of that lunch that we're putting on, that virtual lunch, I won't have time to do another vlog before game time tonight. So we'll see what lineup changes are. Does Jace Harlock get back in? If so, who does he take out? Is it McCune's been okay? Roussel? Maybe it's Roussel who gets a break this time. I think Jake Virtanen's been okay. He's been, bouncing all around the lines. So, and then of course you're not going to take off your centers and Sutter and Beagle. So maybe it is going to be Roussel if Harlock comes in. On the back end, the Canucks had been playing well defensively. The loss against Winnipeg, the 5-2 loss on Tuesday, you started to see a few cracks, a few kind of slipping back into old habits. So we'll see tonight if it was just a one-off, maybe a one game. And remember, defense is an entire team. It's not just the deep pairing. You're looking at how well the forwards back check or how well they come back and help and clear the zone. But we saw a couple ugly goals, the 3-on-2. That was a nice play by Winnipeg, but it shouldn't have even been a 3-on-2. We saw Sutter's brutal turnover. Then we saw the power play goal, which you can't blame the penalty killers, but I didn't like the goal in Holtby. And then that horrible scramble goal that had the bottom line, Myers and Edler and Holtby all flailing in their own zone. So we'll see if the Canucks can clean up their defensive issues, their structure tonight. By way of that, I'm not sure if Wille or Chatfield get into a game against one of the best teams in the league. I suspect Travis Green's going to stick with the same pairings of Hughes, Hamonic, who's been okay actually, Edler, Schmidt, and then Ben with Tyler Myers. It's interesting, just as I wrap up here, as I think a lot's been made about the parallel tracks that the Canucks and the Maple Leafs took. They both kind of blew things up in the 2013-14 era. And the two different narratives though, right? Because Toronto makes the playoffs, but then they get unceremoniously dumped in one of the early rounds, whereas Vancouver barely makes the playoffs. They've only made them, before last year, they only made them once in 6 years. And then, last year, the Canucks ended up being the furthest advancing team in Canada. So there were high hopes that no one said that Vancouver is going to be better than Toronto this season. But people like me said Vancouver will get a playoff spot, which looks to be more and more unlikely as every game passes. Yes, the standings are tightening up in terms of games played, which is finally nice. You can finally start to make some more decent comparables. But still, the Canucks have a lot of ground to make up. But we'll see what happens tonight. So please make sure you join me tonight for my post-game live stream. I'll start at 10 p.m. sharp. The later ones actually do better than the earlier ones. And I allow myself half an hour after the game to unwind, to do an extended post-game recap video and set up my stream, blah, blah, blah. So I hope you join me tonight at 10 p.m. and we'll talk about maybe a Canucks win. Score prediction, I'm going 4-2 Canucks. We're halfway through the season. I'm going to keep doing this until it's actually 4-2 Canucks. But leave your score prediction below and tell me how much, on a scale, this is a good question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you dislike the Leafs? Either because of what they're doing this season, because of the market, because of their players, whatever. 1 means I actually like them. 10 means I can't stand them. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your Leafs hate score? Yeah, that's the worst, a poorly worded question, but you know what I mean. Put a number between 1 and 10 in the comments, and I'd love to know what you guys are thinking, and I'd love to know your score prediction for tonight. All right, leave a comment below. I'll read, react, and reply. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Join this channel as a member if you'd like to. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Enjoy the day. Have a great day. God bless. Enjoy the game, and go Canucks go.